In this video, we'll give you the top 4 players to fade due to injury history in 2024 fantasy redraft leagues. I'm Jim Coventry along with Anthony Servino of RotoWire.
Jim, my first player I'm fading due to their injury history, Cooper Kupp, Los Angeles Rams. And we know Cooper Kupp has had a shaky injury history throughout his career, but in past 2 seasons especially, he's only played in 21 total regular season games. He has missed time due to injuries that include an ankle sprain, hamstring strain, right high ankle sprain, and even a foot sprain in that time period. We know he's getting up there in age. Cooper Kupp is entering his age 31 season, and the wear and tear is starting to hit his body. Now, where he's going in fantasy leagues, he's going as right around the 33rd overall player. There are other wide receivers, especially that I like, that are a lot safer than Cooper Kupp. And let's scale back for a second. Cooper Kupp, it's not only his injury, but what I worry about with Cooper Kupp and the Rams offense overall, we also have to worry about Matthew Stafford's injury history, because if Matthew Stafford goes down, I know Sean McVay's a genius, but this offense will more than likely collapse around him. Now, players going around Cooper Kupp that I like more, going one spot ahead, Brandon Ayuk, and one of the more efficient offenses in the NFL, going right behind him. We got a guy like Mike Evans, who's that Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense is dependent on Mike Evans and what he brings to the field. We could also go to teams like Devonta Smith and the Philadelphia Eagles, going a few spots behind Cooper Kupp in the same round, to where we know that offense is going to have to score a lot of points and outduel people because that defense is rebuilding. So Cooper Kupp at this point in his career to still be going at his ADP, I think it's a big time risk. Now, reports are saying, and this is, coach speak and beat writer speak, that Cooper Kupp is going to be the 1B to Puka Nacua. I'll believe it when I see it. And this is why Cooper Kupp is one of my top players to fade due to his injury history.
My first player to fade due to injury history is T. Higgins of the Cincinnati Bengals. Look, I love T. Higgins, very talented player. He's had some really good moments in the NFL, but he is not reliable. Let's go back to 2021. He missed 3 games, and there was another game where he only played 25 snaps. And those limited injury games, those hurt fantasy managers, because if you're starting a game, you have limited production because of falling out of a game. That's a problem. So 2022. Only 1 missed game for T. Higgins, but if you remember, there were those 2 games he suffered pre-game injuries. Played 1 snap in 1 game, 10 in the other, goose-egged in both of those, and therefore those were the worst because you got zeros when you started him, and the other missed game didn't help. 2023, last year, 5 more missed games and an additional 3 games of 28 or fewer snaps. Look, you could bet on T. Higgins maybe having that big season, staying healthy, but the last 3 years have shown us this is not a player who has a track record of being on the NFL field and contributing when you need him. If you enjoy videos like this, please consider hitting the like button and subscribe to the RotoWire Fantasy Football channel on YouTube. Also, check out all of our fantasy football content and rankings by getting a free 2-day trial with no credit card needed. Just go to rotowire.com/Jim to see all of our content.
Jim, another player I'm fading due to his injury history is another aging wide receiver going to his age 32 season, Keenan Allen, Chicago Bears. And this is another guy. He's only played in 23 games in the past 2 seasons. Yes, he's reliable when he's on the field, but he just hasn't been on the field very much since 2022. We also have to consider he is going to a new team with a new quarterback. He's no longer the quote-unquote alpha in that wide receiver room. He might be the possession receiver. He might be the reliable veteran receiver to Caleb Williams, but with DJ Moore on the sideline as well, DJ Moore should be the top wideout in this offense. We also have to factor in Rome Odunze's presence, who is an ascending rookie wide receiver. And if we look at the tape, it would not surprise me that if Keenan Allen misses time this year, that Rome Odunze ascends to that wide receiver 2 spot on the Chicago Bears. So Keenan Allen, on top of the injury history, we also have to worry about what his role is in a new offense that is led by a rookie signal caller.
My last player to fade due to injury history is Nico Collins of the Houston Texans. And look, we can't forget 1,297 yards and 8 touchdowns in 15 games. Nico Collins is a superstar type player. No disputing that. Availability is an issue. Collins has been in the league for 3 years. As a rookie in 2021, he missed 3 games, and Nico Collins had 1 game with 2 snaps. So basically 4 missing, 1 you started him, and again, took a goose egg. And in 2022, missed 7 games, and then there was 1 game with 30 snaps. So he played a little bit there, but again, missed a big chunk of time. Last year, 2023, his breakout season, we still had 2 missed games, and then there was a game with just 3 snaps. He gets hurt early in games. And so all that said, in 3 years, Nico Collins has missed 12 games plus 2 extra games in which he hardly played. And his draft cost has gotten a little more palatable. But the problem is, if this injury history continues, you could be without Collins for a large chunk of time when you can draft somebody in that area of the draft where Collins is going who might be much more reliable on a week-to-week basis.